don't do that. My name's Casper Jones. I handcraft skateboards for Life Skateboards. It's going to be a long live today. I'm going to have to keep a fire going here. We're cleaning some brush out around the shop, clean some branches, and now it's time to clear it out. If you want to handcraft a deck of your own, go to lifeskateboard.com, get one of your own. We're going to be running out here to keep this fire going, so I wanted to start off with kind of showing you why I'm running outside all day. We got a bunch of scrap to get rid of here. I wanted to start the live a little earlier, but there's a lot of work to get done. Today we're going to be loading the Monster and Standard press, and then shaping some boards, and I might even set up a board of my own. I'm currently waiting on DKL non-abrasive grip tape, but I went by Minus Skate Shop yesterday and bought some new shoes, so maybe I'll set it up with some normal grip tape with my old shoes, and we'll do that today on the live. That's going to be a big fire. And remember, guys, always have your fires outside of your skate shop. Oops, only a few of you will remember that joke. Alright, so we'll keep an eye on that today, and now we'll just go in and start shaping some boards. Actually, we're going to start with gluing boards, not shaping, sorry. Oh, so I said I was going to stream that contest on Sunday, after the contest on Saturday. Unfortunately, one of the people that was supposed to kind of plan the whole thing got injured the night before, so I found out about 40 minutes ahead of time that nothing was planned for the contest. So we had to throw something together, and I had to run it just to make sure everybody had a good time with the skate thing, because Alyssa busted her ass to get that girl skate night as good as it was. The music was amazing, entertainment was great, the community was awesome, and next year I'll just offer my time to help a little bit more with the skate contest to make it a little bigger and a little more organized, and hopefully get more people out there. But all right, so we're gonna get to work here. This is where I glue all the boards by hand. I went ahead and pulled the layups for the Monster press, and then we're gonna go ahead and pull the Standard press live here, but I'll explain what's in here. So we've got a 6-ply and a 7-ply for the Monster press. The 6-ply has a face, face, crossband, core, face. And the 7-ply, sorry, these crossbands want to roll up on me, has a face, core, crossband, core, and face. So that's the standard for 7-plies, and we're going to do that over here when we're pulling 4 all-natural standard layups. What's up, Oakley? Alright, so whenever we're pulling a standard layup, we're going to pull all the faces. Let me tie my shoe so I don't fall. So we're going to pull all the faces first. So, with the nice smooth sides out, there's the 2 faces. 2 more faces. 2 more. And a final 2. So a face is a pretty vertical grain without blemishes on it. You really don't want this texture on there, but when it's a really beautiful piece of wood, it's okay to be able to sand it down. Now we're going to grab 3 cores for each of these. A core is a vertical grain that has some blemishes or isn't as pretty. I get 3 inside of that one. That's so like crazy. Put some funky ones in here. 3 inside of this one. And 3 inside of this one. And there we go. So now we've got 5 pieces of vertical veneer for each of these, and the next step is cross bands. So cross bands are a horizontal grain that gives it strength in the opposite direction. Whenever you have grains that are going across each other, it gives it strength in every direction. So we grab 2 of those and sandwich that center ply. I'm not happy with a couple of these. Alright, 2 more cross bands and then we are good to go to get gluing here. So we'll start with the monster press. So I went ahead before the live started and emptied out the presses here. Once the boards are in the press for 24 hours, they go in a stack of their own concave for 7 days to cure before they're cut out. So I'm going to set you guys up right here. And don't forget, yes, we are, Kenneth. We do everything. Hey, Michael, thanks for tuning in. If you want to get a board of your own, we do ship all over the world at lifeskateboard.com. But yes, we do everything in-house here. Doing everything in-house gives us the ability to control every step of the process, control the quality, and be able to pump out really, really high-quality products. So let's start with the 6 monster here. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to start with the 7-ply monster. Make sure my tape is good to go here and set us up. Alright, tape likes to rip on me every once in a while, so I want to give her a test. Alright, I'm going to grab some gloves and we are going to get started here. So here at Life we glue all the veneer by hand, and there is a very good reason for that. Not just because I'm not a machine, but because glue machines, they get both sides of every piece of veneer. So that means they skip the faces because you don't want glue on the outside, and they skip these cross bands because they get tied up inside the machine. And we want full glue coverage on every side of every ply inside your skateboard, so we glue it by hand to ensure that happens. That's why we can guarantee against delam, because I'm the only one gluing all of these boards up, so if there's a problem, it's my fault. So this hat stays nice. Just bought this hat at Minus yesterday when I bought some new shoes. Shout out Nick over at Minus. One day you'll carry these boards, Nick, I promise. Alright. So like I said, we're just going to be gluing these boards up by hand. Kind of explaining every step as I go here and kind of rambling. If you guys have any questions about board making, skateboarding, or just questions in general that aren't ridiculous, I'm here for it. Probably end up talking about some other stuff, like I do have a video idea coming up. We are going to be, me and a friend are going to be taking a trip to Pennsylvania. I think that's about a week and a half away right now. I'm going to go spend some time at Castle Bam with Bam Margera. I'm going to make a video of the trip and call it Bam Bound. I think that would be fun. We'll see what happens out at Bam's house. What kind of skateboard? So this is actually going in our monster press. We make everything here at Life, all the way down to your youth boards. But we recently just made a monster press that goes up to 15 inches. Yeah, that's right. So we're able to make boards up to 14.2 out of that. We have some of them released. If you go over to the Life Skateboards Instagram, there's some examples of those, videos of those being skated, and instructions on how to order them, because they are not listed on the website yet. The 13-inch slappy trucks match those, but these are awesome. It's an extremely wide board with really good concave. A lot of the bigger boards on the market right now don't have, this is an opinion, but don't have very good concave, and it's kind of giving people the idea that those big boards are really hard to skate. And when a really wide board has good concave, it's just fun to skate. Yeah, it's a challenge, but it's not so much of a challenge that it's not fun, if that makes sense. So we've got a few shapes released. There's a 13.2 and a 14.2. That's what this will end up being. This one is a 7-ply, but we have been pushing people towards a 6-ply for those wider boards. The width has given it some extreme strength, and the 6-ply just kind of takes a little bit of weight off of there. So if you want one of those, go to the Life Skateboards Instagram, follow those instructions, and get you one. Grab some of those 13-inch slappies before we're out, and if we are out, order them directly from Slappy or check your local skate shop for those 13-inch trucks. They're really fun. If you go to my page, there is a video of me tray flipping the 13-inch, which was really fun. And also, if you guys are interested in Coheed and Cambria tickets, only a couple days left on that giveaway on my Instagram. Just head over to Stranger Casper. The entry is just following me, Live Nation, and Everwise, and then you comment who you're going to bring. You're entered into a chance to win a pair of tickets to the August, I believe it's the 17th show at Everwise Amphitheater. It's going to be fun. What we got here? Am I Andy Anderson's big brother? I don't know. I don't know. Ask his mom if he gave somebody up before Andy. He was like, this one's not good enough. The next one's going to make crazy wisdom. Alright, so there's a 7-ply there. The next step, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Next step is just taping up the ends of this. The reason we tape up the ends is so when it's in the press, the plies don't shift around. We're going to glue 2 of these up to fit them in there. We never put more than 3 in the same press. We don't want it to lose its concave throughout a stack. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that in case I can't tell when I pull it out. That's a 7-ply. And we're moving on to the 6-ply. And then we're going to raise these presses up by hand. The jacks have been hooked up to air in the past. However, we haven't hooked them up here, and board's got to get shaped. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. LifeSkateboard.com. You can always get one of your own. We've got some stuff in the works here as far as contests and events go. We're doing the annual Remember November event at Lawrence again this year. I just sent an email to the city of Lawrence trying to get the ball rolling on a program to accept cash donations for cash prizes and make them tax deductible and charitable donations. That way local businesses are incentivized to throw money at skateboarders for events, and we'll see where that goes. Last year was a blast. I know I can get enough product sponsors to make it fun, but cash prizes are always better. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping to get a response on that email and then start going around to businesses and trying to get some money. Thank you, Rad Racer. I appreciate you. And very soon you guys will be able to donate in stream and everything else. I actually just hit my watch hour goals this morning. I'm really excited about that. I'm going through the review program right now to become a YouTube partner, thanks to you guys for boosting my watch hours. So these live streams are really fun because I like talking to you guys, but soon it's going to be lucratively worth it. Maybe I can start paying my bills a little easier off of these. Who knows? Alright, we're going to be gluing up one more piece of veneer, spinning this around, and then we will raise up the press. Whoopsies. Gotta grab a new crossband. Cool thing about these crossbands, because of the grain, I can just do that. I'm gonna re-glue this and flip her over. Yes, Sam, I'll grab your water bottle from the mower when I get a stopping point. Do I fingerboard? No, I don't, sorry. I have fingerboards, but I don't fingerboard. Comments are good. Well, Billy, you can always be here to get a skateboard. Skateboarding's for everybody. You can come buy one of these toys if you want, Billy. And then you can graduate from being here for the comments to being here to see one of your skateboards be made. This is a 7-ply board. That last one I was gluing up was a 6-ply board. Oh, I am so sorry. I just misspoke. This is a 6-ply. That last one was a 7-ply. You do this so many times, you kind of forget how many plies you're playing with. Alright, let me spin you guys around here. Will we ever do graphics? I've done graphics several times on here. I'm just not the one that normally does graphics. That's Sam. The XL panhead or the XXXL panhead? It's okay to be a scooter kid. We all play with toys, bud. That's the cool thing. I'm not going to judge you for what kind of toy you make, but I'm here manufacturing skateboards. If you ever want one, you know where to get one. Alright, so we're going to mark this for a 6-ply, raise the press, and then go get the boss man's water bottle off the mower for him. Hey, congrats, Moon Kitten. The name of the board company is Life Skateboards. If you go to lifeskateboard.com, you can get one of your own. Hopefully I'm not blocking too much of that and it's the right direction. All right, so now we're gonna load this up and raise this press by hand. Congrats on getting your account back. I know how frustrating it can be. So, throw a separator in there. Throw the 6-ply separator. 7-ply. And one more separator. You're gonna get these two lined up with each other. And then the press. So alignment is extremely important on these molds. If the alignment is off, the pressing is off, the board's not good, and we're pressing another one. We don't let boards not good leave our workshop. We got alignment good on there, and now it's time to raise them up. Like I said, tried to make a carbon fiber deck once and it snapped like a twig. And we don't play with carbon fiber because we are so good, and I hope this isn't arrogant. We're just real damn good at all the all-wood construction boards. Cleanup and the process for carbon fiber would just be so different that we'd have to do so much extra for it. There are some pressers and board makers that are doing that. Kudos to them. We're just real good at this, you know what I mean? Yeah, maple is definitely better. It's a strong yet malleable wood with really tight grains. Definitely the best choice for a skateboard. Especially so something that's taking a beating that also needs to be malleable. Like I said, at one point this is hooked up to air, and we will be hooked back up to air at some point. But when I'm doing this by hand, I pretty much go until it can hold my body weight. If I'm doing it by air, it's by sound on the clicks, if that makes sense. If you've never used jacks that are hooked up to air, then that's probably just gibberish again. Alright, so what you're going to watch for here is called squeeze out. In between the plies, the glue is going to squeeze out the side. Aw, man. Sam got his water bottle. I was going to go get it for you guys. So that means there was enough glue in there, and it's squeezing out the side of the press. Pneumatic jacks is what Sam is fixing my lingo. If you guys don't know, Sam Cook here is the owner and operator of Life Skateboards. He's the one that cuts out all the shapes, makes all the templates, had these molds made. He's the reason that life exists. That's a fun way to put it. All right, so there we go. We got those two in there. And now we're gonna go ahead and load the standard press. What we got? So we just pulled all these layups here live, kind of show you guys what's in them. And now we're going to glue them up and press them. And these are all natural today. When we shape, you're going to see some dyed veneer. Whew. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you'd like, go to the website here, get a life board of your own. And if you do order one, put in the notes that you found us through the page here. We've been kind of curious on if sales are coming from these lives or not. I think they are. There's just no way to tell, you know? The timing lines up, so I'd love to know for sure though. I'm not cooler than anybody. I'm not even wearing my hat that says stay lame today, but I'm pretty lame, I promise. I go to sleep early, skateboard. I go to sleep early, I wake up early, I'm a boring individual. Kind of the same thing. You can also vacuum bag boards. That is also a pressing method. Just even if they're just all wood construction. All right, so we're gluing these up. Hi there, Raul. Hey, thank you. Stay in your lane. If you've already heard this, I apologize. I'm just kind of going to explain this for the other people that are watching. If you want to complete from us, you should go to the website there, find exactly what board you want, and then select the Make My Life Complete option. That's the price of the deck plus $110, and you get Acer independent trucks, Pigs wheels, Feds bearings, hardware, and grip. So that's a pretty dang good deal. Popsicles are $70. And we can twin any of our shapes. So you can get a twin popsicle if you want. You can also get just one of our twins. You know it. I'm overwhelming. I'm also overwhelmed at all times. Not much, Chris. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, we got views from Australia. That's rad. There's a good amount of people on here. Thank you all for tuning in. Share this for me if this is something that you enjoy watching. What am I making? Raul says, I am making a skateboard. So these are actually the 9-inch and under boards. You just watched me get ready for some, get some monster boards in the press. We got Albert from, buddy, you're down in Tampa telling me I'm cool? You're in Tampa. Didn't Bam just post a photo from down there? Yeah, Damien, I'll take you through the majority of the process. Pretty much you're just following me through a day at work. This board, you're not going to see this board get shaped today, obviously. These boards are going to be glued up, put in the press, and then they're going to cure for 7 days after they're in the press for 24 hours. But after I'm done gluing these 4 boards up here, we're going to go into the next room and shape a stack of boards. My boss has already cut those out into the shapes, but the edges need shaped, tops and bottoms need sanded, and then throughout the day I also have a fire outside that I'm going to keep stoked. We needed to burn some brush. Who doesn't like fire, right? Hey, thank you, Dogfather. Hey, there we go. Dogfather says, 1 month and my board's still going strong, never buying another board again. There's a good testament for our skateboards. I love when our customers are in the chat here. Yep, making a skateboard. So, got to glue up the ends on this one here. I don't know what Gestix is correcting there, but go for it. I think if you ask me something and you're correcting it, Gestix, I didn't get the first comment, so you should type that out again for me, because I have no clue what it is. Yeah, so our boards are extremely strong, just our standard 7 plies, but if you're worried about strength, our 8 plies, I got a buddy, AJ Ashley, he is extremely heavy footed, and so we made him an 8 ply, I believe it was an 8.5 popsicle. He parked his car on it. Just for examples of strength here, just a 7-ply. There was a girl at Ball State that got a cruiser from us. It was a coffin shape. She set it up with some real big wheels. And a couple days later, she came back to the shop because the board got ran over end to end. And she needed new trucks because the board was fine and the trucks broke. So, the other thing I would suggest though, when you do get your complete, a lot of our heavier customers will say that they switch their bushing, their standard bushing out for a Bones extra hard bushing. So I would always suggest that, and then you should have a perfect setup for yourself. Great question though, man. Hope you get a board from us and get on it. We just make boards and apparel. Yeah, we actually make it here. So we apply all of our graphics with hand-carved lino blocks, and we're able to recreate that on apparel because we can use those blocks to apply the graphics. So we can do shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeves, and then skateboards. We also sell trucks, wheels, bearings, everything else, but we don't make those. We're a skateboard manufacturer. We just have everything else for you. But yeah, stay in your lane, get in our lane, and come get a skateboard. You're welcome in our lane, I promise. Although I do like that name. Yep, so actually it's when you buy any board, thank you, stay in your lane. Whenever you get any board, the apparel is 50% off. That's the only deal on our website aside from the complete deal. The shop is Life Skateboard. If you go to lifeskateboard.com, I'm sorry, I should have had that up there. There's the website. There's over 77 shapes on the website, including popsicles. You're able to customize your wheelbase, colors, everything you want. And then we'll send you a high quality handcrafted deck made just for you. What's my skate setup? Thanks, James. I appreciate that. Our customers do too. What's my setup? I personally skate, so if you're on the website right now, go to the signature section. The Casper signature is my shape. I skate that with Ace Classics 55s, Jeremy Green Speed Labs, 59mm 99A, Superfly Speedball, may Quentin Bradford rest in peace, and DKL non-abrasive grit tape. I can't argue with that, Wyatt. That's some solid logic right there. That's what mine looks like. Yeah, I like a big fat fishtail, so I designed mine with a fishtail. But I might honestly paper a new shape in a little bit on the edges to kind of offer a angled pop, kind of like our twins. I'm thinking of making a new shape for myself very soon. All right, there's another one glued up. Spin y'all around. Thanks for tuning in, Jeremy. This glove is sure doing me no favors. I'm like, dang, these gloves were super cheap, and then I find out it's because they're super thin. That's why Menards had them on quick. Just ripped it putting it on. Well, where do we get the wood? We have a woods veneer supplier. This specifically supplies skateboard veneer. The wood itself is Great Lakes maple. A lot of people would say Canadian hard maple, but I want to be honest here, and most of some of the wood does come from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. You want maple that's grown in the north, and the reason for that is you want something that has long winters and slow growth so that the grains are tighter and you have stronger wood. Thank you, stay in your lane. We've got lots of You like our opinions? Whew. Sam, you hear that? Somebody's here for our opinions. We've got lots of them, I promise. Not everybody likes them. I got a lot of opinions on the industry that these lives will get into. I appreciate that. Somebody that's here for our opinions. And we've got strong opinions, but we also make things to accommodate for other people's opinions. Like, options. Okay. He said opinions, and I was like, whoa. But yeah, we do have tons of customization options. I will go into the opinion thing. In my opinion, mellow concave sucks, but we went ahead and made a mellow press for the customers that want them, because I'll respect else's opinion most of the time. But yeah, we do have a lot of options. There's over 77 shapes. You can change your wheelbase, you can twin them, and there's so many options that aren't even on there. There's graphics that aren't listed, there's shapes that aren't listed, you can combine shapes. There's so much. Since we're doing everything from veneer up, we can do whatever we want. Thanks, stay in your lane. You can come in our lane anytime. Woo! These gloves suck. Clown board. That one. So that is actually a rip-off Roscott. I found that out. I was cleaning out a house this last week. Somebody handed me that, and I was like, hell yeah, I got a Roscott. That's expensive as shit. And then Sam, my boss, informed me that that is an original knockoff. So I think it's really cool too. That's why I got it on the wall. But I do have an original knockoff Roscott. Isn't that kind of cool? It's not worth very much besides the story. All right, after we glue these last two up here, we're going to go take a visit to the fire, check on that, maybe throw some scrap on top of it, and then we're going to get to shaping. At some point today, maybe I'll take you guys over to the shipping and printing, shipping. I am so sorry, printing and shipping studio, where you can see our lino blocks and how we apply our graphics. Forgot how to talk right there for a second. Thanks, Jeremy. I think it's awesome too. I've had to sell a lot of my collection, pay some bills this year, so really cool to add little things in there. So actually, Joe is asking what happens if you mix and match straight grain and cross grain. So that is actually what's inside of your skateboard. So you've got two vertical and then a horizontal for a crossband. It gives it strength in every direction. There's going to be 2 crossbands and 5 vertical grains inside of your skateboard. So that gives it some strength in every direction, and then the concave gives it strength from end to end. And somebody needs to give me the strength to not lose my shit on this piece of tape right here. All right. That's a good question though, man. Great question, Jay. I'll show you on this next board what I mean. So on this board here, you've got a vertical grain and another vertical grain, and then the next one is a crossband. Yes, Hurricane, I am making skateboards. This is the first step in the process. And this is the last board that I'm gluing up today, and then we'll get into the other room to shape. If you guys are enjoying this, please share it with your friends. I know this is a niche thing to enjoy watching, so finding the right audience for this is going to be fun. And I really do enjoy the community that pops in around there. It's the best cooking show you ever seen. I'm cooking up some damn good skateboards. Nice. Nope. I'm creating content that matters. Teaching you how skateboards are made. Hey, congratulations, Full Force. Always look up to the people that paved the way for all of us. What's up, Frank? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, thanks, Daniel Lane. That's correct. That's correct, Kenneth. Hey, no worries, Frank. Yeah, you know Sam will pick that up anytime. Sam just had a surgery, so I'm sure he wouldn't mind sitting in front of the table helping you with a custom. Just hit his line again and we'll get it worked out. And of course I didn't forget you, Frank. I saw that new follow on Instagram the other day. Yeah, the progress is insane. The regression of quality of skateboards, that's also insane. The progression of skill and the regression of quality. That's something that I've noticed. But we're here to remind everybody about how skateboards should be made. But yeah, skateboarding as a whole is just kind of the technicality of it has gotten crazy. The scale of it has gotten crazy. The age at which children are going absolutely insane has gotten crazy. I mean, hell, we got a 14-year-old on our team that skates vert contests. And he's ripping. Hurricane, I think that every time that I hear people say skateboarding is losing soul, I think that's part of the reason that it's losing soul. Because instead of saying like, oh, skateboarding's losing soul, let's do something to stoke it out, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I felt the same way, so I really did everything I could to start like revitalizing our local skate park, trying to create spaces for people to have fun and meet each other in. I've got our local city helping out with events and letting us throw events whenever we want to. All it takes for skateboarding to take hold somewhere is someone with the passion to throw themselves at it and know that they're not getting anything out of it. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to get anything out of stoking out skateboarding in your area, except for more skateboarding. And I hope that wasn't taken as a personal dig or anything like that. That was just a good jumping off point to talk about that, you know what I mean? There you go, Hurricane. There you go, Hurricane. That's what I like to hear. Taposhi! There's a shout out. I have heard... we do have longboards if you need them. They're on that website. But you can also just get a board with some big wheels and riser pads on there for it. But yeah, Hurricane, I mean, if there's some of us that are just continuing to keep the stoke alive no matter where it is, it's always going to come back. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. There's going to be huge booms. There's going to be a bunch of vultures that jump in on the booms in skateboarding. And then there's going to be a big dip where there's vultures jump out and cause a big void. And that's just kind of what happens in skateboarding. But it's okay, because we're going to be here making skateboards right and keeping it going. All right, so we got to throw these 4 in the press here. Great tangent you guys just got me on. That was cool. I like talking about that. If you're going for cruising, I would say getting some, Slappy or Ace are some very turny trucks. And then you're going to want riser pads with big wheels. 59 to 60 probably. But if you're going for actual longboard, we do have reverse kingpin trucks as well. And that's not the reverse top kingpin, I mean the kingpin on the other side of the truck. Hey, there you go, Photo Demon. Yeah, so you can't believe this press will work. It's been working since 2012, buddy. It's all right. We're making way better skateboards than way better skateboards than your favorite factory. I guarantee it. Ooh. Can't imagine this press would work. That's crazy. It's a crazy thing to say. Oh, it's gonna work twice as well. Look at that. Now it's got room for 4. So remember guys, alignment is extremely important, so that's why you're gonna see me focus on this here. Now we're going to fit these other 2 in here, throw those separators in there, and raise her up. Grab my sticks from the other side. I'm going to raise these up by hand. You guys are going to watch for that squeeze out again. Did we tighten these down? We did not. That would make sense. Dang it. Who forgot to do that? That'd be me. There we go. Oh. Hey, thanks, Full Force. I appreciate you. Yeah, Super 8's rad. But yeah, as far as like the community aspect of bringing the stoke in though, all that takes is an individual. And I think that's proved in my local scene. You can see in Columbus's scene. You've got Tyler that's been boosting that scene. Look at Effingham, Illinois. You've got Dino. This is an individual that pushed out and tried really, really, really hard. And now he has the Effingham Jam going. Let's see. I mean, Killer Skate Park has big contests. Look at Q Skate Park. They started off with summer camps, and now they do a contest after the summer camps for the kids. They've got the big Skate Midwest contests that they do out there. All it takes is an individual to get the ball rolling, and then the community tends to get behind it. What I hate seeing is, I don't know if I should say that one. We'll change that up. What I don't enjoy seeing are when somebody throws their first event, not a lot of people show up, so they give up. Because it usually takes a couple years for things to kind of catch on with your events, you know? So it's never a good idea to just give right up. Alright, give me a second here, I gotta realign some stuff. You get to these double presses, sometimes you gotta go back and fix a mistake. Better to fix a mistake now than have a shitty board later. Alright, there we go. There we go. And we're good to go. Hey Casper, can we get a pink and purple fade on your board like your recent one? Yes, but there is no guarantee it's going to look that good. That was a very difficult fade to do, but I'm sure we can try to recreate that. You know it, man. Always do it. Sacrifice my body for skateboarding. Might as well do it in the work sense too. I said I go until it holds my body weight, and then we're good. You can see that squeeze out of there. We're good. All right, so I'm gonna cover up this glue here, clean up the table a little bit, go check on the fire, and then we're gonna get to shaping. Whew. A little worn out. Remember guys, you can get these boards for yourself at lifeskateboard.com, where you can make exactly what you want on there and we'll make it for you. Got several concave options. You got mellow and standard for our 9-inch, then there's a wide and a long press, and now the monster press. Alright, out to the fire. Fire, fire, fire. Anything just out of the press? Yep, I pulled these two out before the live started. These are out of the monster press. And then I emptied these standards out of the press today to be able to press. Everything over here is curing. And then in here are some freshly cut decks that we're gonna shape in a little bit. We gotta go check on the fire real quick. I'm gonna bring you guys with me because fire is fun, right? Right. Don't worry guys, the fire's outside. Ooh, the fire's almost out. That means I gotta get the fire going. Oops. We cut up a bunch of branches and stuff out here and needed to get rid of it real quick, so my job. Fire. Fire. I'm sure this is boring. I'm sorry. I just got a job to do. Throw this last one on there to hold it down. Just kidding. And now this last one on there. Oops. Bringing a bunch of branches with us. Who made this pile? It was me. I made the pile. Sorry. All right. Fire. Fire. Hope we all enjoyed the fire. You got it. Anytime. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm leaving the fire now. Here, you can listen to skateboards being made. Fun train. You're a silly little boy, aren't you? It's gonna be okay. Yeah. You can tell you don't know where I am. Saying we're gonna have a forest fire in central Indiana. So I'm just gonna disregard that comment. You sure are part of the fun train, I'll tell you that. All right. On the next episode of Days with Casper, I'm gonna watch what you're doing at work and tell you you can't do that. No, we get our veneer for as skateboard veneer. We do cut some of it down. Before the live started, I cut down the monster presses because it's made for a longer press. Thanks, Frank, but I'm gonna keep doing the lives the way I've been doing them. There will be videos coming out of that, thanks, though. Alright, and we're back. I'm going to grab a Life Skateboards sign. Yeah, I can't really go through all the shapes unless I got all the shapes on hand, so there is a video being put together for that. It's just going to take a very long time to put that together. Not something I can do on live, unfortunately. But I'm going to go grab a Life Skateboards sign, put it up in the background, and then we're going to get to shaping. things I tend to do before the lives, but today, you guys are seeing me set up. Alright, so I'm going to kind of explain what I'm doing on these first couple boards, and then we're just going to push through them. Oh, I need my respirator. We have a respirator on every step besides the orbital, and I don't need to on the edge router, but I probably will. Hey, I'm so upset, Albert. No, I'm just kidding. She's been like, sorry, honey, I have to watch skateboards being made. You're going to be late to work today. She'd understand, I think. I don't think I've ever put this on and my hat looks normal. Shout out Minus for the hat, by the way. Good job. Go check out Nick. Alrighty. So we've got a mid-twin and what looks like a 1992 here. So when Sam cuts out the shape, the edge looks like this, and he cuts out the shape right here. Thanks, Albert. I appreciate you. And we got to bring that edge to a 90 with the concave so that the edge router can cut out the edge. Every once in a while, we got some stuff to clean off of the board so that the edge router will work properly. Get that chunk off of there. Several chunks on it. I gotta sand a couple more chunks off of this one, and then we'll get over to the edge router. Bring you guys over here, and you'll see the edge start to form on this router bit here. Track over that one. Now we're going to clean up the edges here, and this has an air bladder. I've got to air it up. I'm going to go grab the compressor hose and get it on here. Hose, and we get the compressor on. Grab that in there so it can't run off on me. Now we're good to go. This step is going to clear everything up. It's okay, Kenneth. There were cool things. There were some cool things. Yeah, Albert. So that's actually a good point. So when I found this company, I was working. When I discovered, didn't found it. Sam started the company in 2012. But I was working in a skate shop. I was very heavy-footed and skating every single day. I was going through a deck a week. I was working in the shop. Part of my shop pay was a deck, so it was okay. And I just kind of thought that was normal. And then somebody handed me one of these, and it started lasting me a month. That's 4 times as long as the other boards would last me. And now, I don't really break these boards that often. If I do break them, it's because I stomped down on a 540 boneless or over some stupid gap where I shouldn't have landed it and I committed on the tail. And it's usually a very long time into the life of a board, and I personally skate the blends. These things just last so damn long. I love it. All right, back to shaping. We need a what? We need a... Yeah, Sam, you can be a mod if you'd like to. I will always make you one, and then Morgan's at work, unfortunately, so she hasn't been. But Rays, I appreciate you thinking that you know how to do my work, but it's all right. Yeah. Well, I can make you, Sam, if you'd like, I can make you one while you're in here. That means I think you don't have a responsibility for it, but if you'd like, you can do that. We'll talk about that later, though, man. But yeah. You know, you can always tell when someone doesn't have your best interest in mind while they're trying to give you advice, because they don't give you advice, they wish bad things upon you. And that's why someone that doesn't know what they're talking about is going to go ahead and get on. There we go. You know, there's ways to go about that, like ask me questions like, hey, why do you do this? Well, see, obviously I know how far this is going to come out here, so I'm not going to go anywhere near that. I also know how far this is going to come out here, so I'm not going to go near that either. But it is what it is. Alright, so next step is this guy here. Oh. Dang, my loose fitting clothing is just so close to the machine. Oh no! It's getting pulled in. Oh no! That's super loose fitting clothing. Silly people. I'm a little confused on why you said we need mods, Sam, because I am confused. Yeah, my safety manager's my boss. But this is kind of like, hey, don't do that, which I don't. But that random person on the internet is not my safety manager, nor do they know how my equipment works. Just wait, go watch in a minute here and be like, why is your respirator off? And not know there's a Festool vacuum attached to this. It is what it is. Good. I'm glad it sounds like a wood shop to people that are hearing this secondhand. That makes me happy. I think what I'm going to do is finish up sanding these two here, and then I'm going to go ahead and take a lunch break. Come back and do another live to finish that stack out. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If you enjoy what you're watching, subscribe so you can tell when I'm back on later today. Yeah, Festool is amazing. The reason that you're seeing me use a DeWalt here connected to a Festool vacuum is because the Festool orbital and sanders are extremely expensive, and we put a lot of strain on these things when we're doing the edges, so it's cheap and easy to replace. But this thing is amazing. There is no dust that makes it away from this. Just plug your orbital into there. When you click it on, it pops on. Extremely worth the value if you're a woodworker for anything. I've used these on a job with Sam where we were sanding the stain off of doors. It is great. It's really good. Well, David, and it seems that you're new here because this is the final step of sanding. Why would anyone use a orbital sander? The reason you'd use an orbital sander on this step is so that you have control over it. You can clean up the edges, remove excess glue from the top and bottom that the rest of the machines didn't get, like the Mac wheel, or the drum, or the edge router, or the belt sander, or the router bit over there, the drill press. There's lots of steps that happened before we got here, David. If you want to scroll back, you can watch all those steps happen. Yep, so this is a piece of dyed veneer here, and you can see that the second piece is also dyed. What you watched me press this morning was all natural. For sure, David. I hope my method of be a smartass and then over-explain things is fun and not dickish, but that's just how I do things. So thanks for asking that, David. Yeah, I mean, this is just the easiest way to clean things up without removing material, if that makes sense. Sometimes when I think I'm a smartass, I'm not being a smartass, and I feel bad about it. But that's just who I am. Sorry. It works. That's how I make most of my friends. Alright, so now that the top and bottom, now the top and bottom are clean, it's time to clean up the edges. And this is where the orbital takes a lot of strain in ways that it normally wouldn't. You're wrapping it around the edge there. Well, Chunky Dory, I'm glad you just now tuned in because I called this out. If you scroll back about 3 minutes, you're going to see me saying, just wait, there's going to be somebody that says, hey man, where's your respirator? Because this is connected to a Festool vacuum. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate that. So my thought on that is that I don't do music. So if somebody was making my guitar and I did music, it's okay, Chunky. You like walked into that like perfectly, dude. Like that's, I'm not even mad. That was like perfect. You were the example that I waited on. But Kenneth, I don't do music, so if I were doing music, I would want the person that's building my guitar to know music. I skate, so like making this, I'm thinking like, okay, make sure that edge has enough on it that you can flick off of, and I know what I'm doing. When it comes to music, I don't know the nuances of it. So while that's a really cool aspect of woodworking, it's just not something that I think I should do. Alrighty, so this one here is finished. What I'm going to go ahead and do is end the live here. I've got a stack of boards to finish when I get back, and I'm going to start off on the orbital so I can start the live off talking. I'm going to go take a lunch break, go eat at my favorite Mexican restaurant, No Pal. Have me some fajita nachos, because why not? We are our own shop at Life Skateboards. We make our own boards. If you go to lifeskateboard.com, you can check those out. And I will be right back. If you guys would like to see more of this, subscribe so you know when I go back live in a little bit. I'm going to take a lunch break. I'll be back to make boards with you. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Bert.